Hello, welcome to the second episode of Strong Opinions. The name of this episode is Even Bruce Wayne would have the right to the universal basic income. Bruce Wayne, when he was about 8 years old, I suppose, lost his parents. The Joker killed them. I think it was the Joker, I'm not sure. When they were leaving the opera house. And he inherited a large fortune after that. When I was 8 years old, this thought crossed my mind. Um, everyone has everyone has food and shelter, a home, after growing up. I believed that was established. I believed that was one of the roles of the government, of the state. That was part of its duties to provide that for people. I believed that when I was 8 years old. I live in Portugal, and I believe that happened. This is not a communist country or nothing of the such. Don't be scared. I just believe that was logical. I mean, I was living with my parents. They provide me with food and the roof. And when I would grow up, I would have roof and food for myself somehow. I knew that people had to work, but I thought that food and shelter were guaranteed, were a basic right. Like you didn't have to work to have that. Because it's for basic survival. You need to have a house and food just to live. Imagine my disappointment later after that when I found out that wasn't the truth. And I'm still disappointed today. Worse than that, I am very disappointed to the way people react to the idea of the universal basic income. People don't pay attention to the first word, universal. Hence the title of this episode. Even Bruce Wayne, a millionaire, would have the right for the universal basic income. That means that everyone would receive that little amount of money that enable a person to have shelter and food. Shelter with the minimum conditions of dignity. This includes hygiene, obviously, just to survive, just to live, you know. Imagine a world like that. You'd have this basic condition to have dignity and survive. If you want luxury, or I know, I won't even call it luxury, I'm sorry. If you want uh, uh, um, more comfort, if you want comfort, okay, you will go to work. This sounds very silly, I know, but I believe that nobody would feel happy just to receive universal basic income. But I believe that everyone would be very, very happy to receive the universal basic income on an amount that would be enough to pay for the rent, to pay for the food. When someone is jobless. And this is not a subsidy for unemployment. This should be all the time. And there is money for this. There's people there who have more money than the budget of countries like mine. They're the full budget of countries like mine. So don't tell me that there's not money enough for everyone, every person in the world, or every adult person in the world. But let me say, every person in the world to be given enough amount of money to pay the rent of a dignified home and the food. There is enough money for that. The thing is, our leaders, both politician leaders and company leaders, don't want that to happen. They don't want that to happen. And people on the same condition as me, or not on the same condition as you, people on the same economical level, also don't want that to happen. Because they are prejudiced. They believe that they are giving this money to people who are lazy or to drug addicts. Well, there are solutions for that. If someone has mental issues, has addictions, or is a criminal, well, there would be, for instance, social workers to manage the money for them. These people would take care of managing the money for the rent, managing the money for the food, And the money that would be left would be given to the person, to do whatever that person would, to the beneficiary, let's call it like that, to do whatever pleases, because the basic was already provided. I believe that much less people would go on to drugs or would go on to criminality. There will be much less people selling their bodies, and I think the world would just change radically. And probably there will be much more freedom for artists to express themselves, and probably a lot of new professions and new businesses would come out with a measure like this, because people would receive their universal basic income having their basic survival guaranteed, and they would start their own businesses somehow. They would start making their own business in activities that would be meaningful for them. I believe this would happen. And probably the majority of others would go to regular jobs to make and more money. This would also happen. Of course, the prices of real estate, at least partially, of some of the real estate had to be controlled. There should be a control on the prices of rents, or there should be households that specially built to have the prices controlled. I don't know, because real estate cannot be a business the way it is today. Or there should be some, I don't know, probably only those houses for rich people could go on this skyrocket business real estate is today, and houses for normal people should have their prices controlled, rents affordable for people with the universal basic income. I don't know. There can be two different parallel business. I don't know. The model would have to change somehow. But yeah, coming back to Bruce Wayne and millionaires and rich people, what I'm saying is both the rich and the poor and the middle class would be given the same amount of money, so everyone would be entitled to this money. Everyone would have their home, their food. Of course, this would have to be in a state environment where both education and health could be also accessible to all citizens. There can be private models with insurances, but also public models accessible to everybody. And again, the real estate issue that I mentioned before. Houses must be affordable. So yeah, so I think that there should be a global movement. Some places it is starting somehow, some niches somewhere. A global movement to make our leaders and governments to make the universal basic income a reality, because AI is there and a lot of people will be out of work. And also, if people are unemployed, you will have no consumers. I mean, no one will buy anything, so the economy will crack. So this is also an economic investment. If you are investing on people to have money to become consumers, the leaders of companies and entrepreneurs and bosses, they are interested of having people to buy their products. And the way things are, the universal basic income will become the only solution for that. Because they will need to have buyers to whom to sell their things. So because the way things are going, there will be less and less buyers because there are less and less people making money. If you don't give jobs for people to make money, people must have money in some other fashion, and that will be, even if that will be just giving the money to them for them to consume. There's no other way. So universal basic income should be not only a basic human right, but also becomes an economic benefit and advantage for the vampires of the world that are out there taking the money from us. They will have to give us the money back, or else they won't have anything. So the world must have a change, and universal basic income is the key for that. I hope you enjoyed this video. Don't forget to click the like button and the subscribe button. And see you next time. See you.